Hi there, it's Wade McMaster here from CreatorImpact.com. In this video today, I'm going to be reviewing the Aaron Marino's Alpha M website. If you haven't heard of Aaron before or the Alpha M YouTube channel, I definitely recommend checking out. Basically, the Alpha M YouTube channel is Aaron's style and fitness channel that he runs on YouTube. It has over 5 million subscribers, I believe. Awesome channel. Aaron's content, the videos he puts out, are absolutely fantastic. His energy and the way he delivers his content is really entertaining. And I'm a pretty big fan of his work myself. And I thought it'd be good to check out his websites and do one of my little site reviews on it and see where we went. Now, I didn't realize he actually has a few sites here. So I'm going to cut to a couple of them very quickly. You can see here we've got Pete and Pedro, which is his one of his businesses that he sells fragrances and that men's fragrances. I love the bold look. Now this really speaks to the Alpha M branding. The same colors, the black, the sort of like a warmer yellow. Very bold, very classy look. Looks very strong, very masculine, and I think done an excellent job with this site. I think it really tells a story. I'm not going to go through this site too much because I do want to get to the main Alpha M site. Menfluential Media is also another site where I think you land and it just has this diagram. Pretty much, it's a nice little visual site of what they do. You head to their brands page, some nice information. Once again, very professional looking site. Awesome, very strong branding, very clean and tidy. Tish handling. Now, this is the one I think is really good because pulling off black on a website can be difficult. Black is a color a lot of people don't like, sort of subconsciously. But this really pulls off that high class look to it with the black, and the fact that he's sort of got the black bottles and the grey background. It's a really good use of black and pulled off really well. I like this top secret, don't click, I'll try that in a sec. But just a really cool look. It does the job very well. And I'm going to come back to this page soon, but first I'm just going to try this little don't click. It's one of those things where you tell someone not to do something and they're going to do it. So I like the way they've sort of thrown that in there. It's a really cool, fun little addition. So yeah, he's got a few products he's pushing there, which is pretty cool. Just head back to that home page. Enemy, once again, another cool site. A little less of the yellow and the white and the black, more just the black and white. But once again, very bold, very strong design. Does an awesome job of sort of, it promotes the sunglasses in a way that makes them look like they're very high end, high class. But then, of course, he's got that cheaper price tag, so it's not so much about the fact that it's high end, it's the fact that it's a budget-friendly high-end range, and this website definitely does the job of pushing that well. But we're going to get to the main event, which is the Alpha M website. Now you can see the high quality of websites that Aaron actually has, and when I actually got to this one, I was a bit taken back because it's not necessarily a bad website, but I do think there are things that could be done just to improve it a little bit. Now, it's not something I'm gonna find a lot of ease in doing because I'm a pretty big fan. I think this guy is he seems like a really approachable, really cool guy, and I already feel pretty bad saying some of the things I'm gonna say in this video. So if you happen to be watching this, Aaron, feel free to pick apart my style on YouTube, and we'll call it even. But once again, it's not a bad website. It's not horrible. I like the way he's got the Alpha M at the top. Straight to the content. Once again, here, straight to the content. You can search his channel because he's got tons of content. He's got plenty here he's pushing for people to see. Nice, the video on the right. More of his content, like the latest posts and that he's put up. It's here. Its primary purpose is obviously just to pretty much get the content flowing, get people to see what it is that he's putting up there, and it does a good job of making that available for people. You can land here, you can see the latest post is here, and I've double checked this against his YouTube channel. This is his latest video, and the sort of next latest video, and it goes down from there until we get to here, and it sort of goes backwards from there. But there is one thing I will say about this, is that the homepage in particular, there's only a few different types of pages in this site to look at, but I do feel like when you land, because we've got one big wide area and we've got a whole bunch of boxes hitting us for our attention, and I'll be honest, when I first land, I sort of know to look here, but then I'm kind of getting pulled into these other directions as well, and I don't really know where to land. There's not really a focal point with the design. And I sort of feel that it's something that could be improved upon. So one thing I'm thinking that I would really like to see is to, if you wanted to keep the layout almost exactly the same, you could just simply separate things with rows. So I would say you've got like a dark, sort of almost charcoaly gray here. Get something just a little bit lighter, maybe just a little bit off-white, like a gray, darker than this gray down here, and just give that a texture or something here, something classy, something that says style that sort of matches his message, and put that row in here, cut it right through the middle of the quick search so that box sits over the top of the end of it. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. So you got like a line and then this sort of cuts in. And that would separate this top section from the rest of the page. So that way you'd realize that everything above this area here is sort of like one area to look at. At the moment, you've got one massive area to look at here, but this would just bring that focal point down to just these 3 videos, and then you sort of see, okay, I can either search or keep going. It sort of like creates a bridge to that next page, basically. Because this here, I can see where he's basically, it's almost like another section. So once again, I would even go colored row here, colored row there, and I probably would actually put this in a white box on top of a row in its own section again, maybe even cutting through the middle as well. So you'd have basically one row starting halfway through this course in a white box, going up, and another row through here. So that way you get like one distinct area to push the latest videos, another distinct area to push this video and his calls to action, and then basically the course, and then you're going down and you're going, okay, here's the rest of the content. And one thing that I thought was funny, no one else looks at this stuff, but as a web designer, I always check out people's footers. And I found that I could never quite get to the footer because the posts are always loading. But no one really cares about the footer. But one thing I can tell you is that it's kind of good to have an endpoint on your website in the sense that you can really push a call to action, or at the very least, if you had a call to action come and travel alongside this information, that'd be pretty cool. But I sort of feel like there's an opportunity there to add that in. So that's keeping the same layout. I would say that you could probably even do one more, another one better. You could probably even have this as the title sitting to the right of it with a bit of text and a read more as the latest post, pop latest post at the top here. Take this shut down, these 2 videos, pop the 3 videos underneath. And then you've got a latest post section here with one main latest, 3 across, and then you can continue down from there. You can then put these in side by side underneath the search, and that way you kind of, if people can easily go past the sidebar and avoid it, but if you really add these, it almost acts like a bit of a fence, so that way they can look at that first video, the 3 after it, continue, and you got like a little fence like, hey, check out this stuff, and this stuff. But it's not very tall, so you can see there's more value if you keep scrolling. So you just keep scrolling down from there and continue on to the content. I sort of feel like there's a few things you could do to really improve that. At the moment, even just adding some background colors into those rows would be a really good first step to improve that. Once again, like I said, not necessarily a bad site, but there's definitely things that can be done to improve. Another thing, we may as well keep throwing darts at the wall. Once again, I am sorry, but you notice we've got let's say we've got this header here. It's bold. It's in the title case, so uppercase, lowercase, uppercase, lowercase. Same down here, same for these areas. But we come up here and we've got this section here, and it's not as bold. It's actually thin. Down here, it's also thin. Searches is a little bit of inconsistency with the titles. Not a big deal, but when you're looking, if you can create a bit more consistency on a page like this, it's much easier to just sort of relax and really take it in. At the moment, it's a little choppy and changey, and I feel like a bit of consistency would definitely go a long way to make it just a more comfortable read and scroll. So we're going to sort of go on to other areas of the website. So that's obviously a link to the YouTube channel, the social media up here. I think that's very good, handy there. Most of Aaron's business seems to catch attention on social media more than anything, especially with the YouTube. So I think it's a smart move to put that at the top there. Businesses, let's go to his about page. All right, so there's a video missing there, but we won't get into that. But you can see here, even though if this video was working, the fact there's not something here on the right, I feel like it's a little less aggressive and actually easier to read. So if we actually had a proper video here and the information, it'd be a much easier read than, say, some of the other pages. I do like that one. It's clean and there's a little less, but at the same time, there's nowhere to go after you read the about page, and there's no sort of exit point. You just sort of land at the footer. It'd be cool to say, you know, hey, check out the Alpha YouTube channel for more or something like that. Link them off, get them subscribed, go from there. The businesses. Now, I think what will also be cool actually is even just to have these down the page vertically to the left, 1 or 2 sentences, learn more, or link to official site, and just give them a little bit more presence on this page, because they sort of look like sponsors just sort of there. They don't actually look like they're a part of, and there's not really anything to tell you that there's businesses there. But yeah, I do feel like, obviously, when you've got so many commitments and you're running a handful of businesses, it'd be hard to really put the time in to keep websites like this up to date. But you know, that's what the videos are for. It's good to cover this stuff. I'm not trying to you know, really tear down anything that's been done here, as much as just look at what could be done, and it gives you a chance to really think about what you can do with your website. So finally, I'm going to go. Now, this mega menu is it's a little bit full on. I think what would be cool is if you just had the top headings there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as one little drop down, similar to the businesses. You could then put all these on that next page, even though it means less clicks. It's just a little less intimidating, but I mean, at the same time, I'd test it and see what gets the lower bounce rate. But yeah, that's just a thought. I could be wrong there. So let's go to let's go home first. Let's go to one of these. All right, so we've got the blog here. Now, one thing I noticed, so this is a common template for the blog itself. And once again, there's so much stuff grabbing your attention. Even if I just scroll down this a little bit here, I've got this video, I've got a box here, a box here, a box here, and a box here. They're all competing to get my attention. And I sort of, once again, have a bit of trouble relaxing and just looking at the video. I can see the approach in that the video comes first and then the sponsored content. But I think what would be cool, if I just get back over to that Teach Hanley website for a sec. Now, one thing you notice with every sort of row on here, you've got like one big focal point and some information. A couple of little things here, one big focal image, information, a big focal video, information. There's one eye-catching part with the one eye-catching visual to go with the information. There's not too much there. It's a visual with some information. Once again, visual information. If you take that same approach, let's head back. Whoop, too far. Head back to Alpha M. If you could find a way to just tone this down a little bit, it'd be really awesome. I think the I'm shutting down is cool. I reckon it would be good to even move some of this byline stuff, maybe put the date in just underneath the title. This is pretty cool. I don't mind that there, but if you could move that there, get it up higher, even if you could find some kind of way of sectioning this, creating some kind of lead in so it's not such a harsh step into the white, I think would be pretty cool. This is something I would play with a little bit. One thing I think would be really cool is if you took these thumbnails here and made them about a third the size and put the text next to it, because then they're still there. They're probably a little bit harder to read, so to speak, but each one is not competing against the video for attention. And because you've done that, it's shorter and they can actually see all of these without having to scroll. So let's say this video right here is one that's perfect for someone who's just visited. They don't see it here, but with smaller sections here, they're not competing with the video, and if they do go looking for more, which they may, it'll be sitting right here for them to look at, but they can look at it in their own time. It's not sort of really trying to grab their attention too aggressively. But the sponsored section here is not too bad. I can see how that works. You've got the video, you've got the sponsor underneath, and then you've got the information. I like the way this is broken up. It's scannable, it's neat, very easy to find the information you're after and just simply read it. That's very well done. Some of this is a bit full on. I would probably even consider moving some of this stuff at the top next to the video. I would say if you're on here, you're looking at the video, it'd be really cool to have the Alpha M information, photo of Aaron there, bit of info about what he does, just sitting off to the right, roughly about the same height as here. So you're here looking at the video, you can see, oh, this is who he is. And you can look left and right. You can go, oh yeah, I can see he has this business. Oh yeah, cool. And you sort of have a chance to, if you're not watching this in full screen, get a bit of info about the guy. And then as you scroll down, you got your few posts there, and then you got your information. So yeah, and then obviously I'd probably consider doing something with that sponsor too, just to sort of give it an even width. The way it sort of cuts in and cuts out is a little bit funny to follow with the eye, but that'd be cool to do something with that to sort of block it up a little bit as well. Not aggressive, just like a light grey or something, I think. So other than that, like there's a lot of really, I mean, obviously the content's good. The thumbnails are excellent. The fact that grabs your attention with just a handful of words. It's something I've been trying to do more of. It's something I could definitely learn from him. The way he's got a real catching image and just a few words that really grab your attention. It's really well done. The actual thumbnails themselves are excellent. And even though, it's a basic font, it's impact. It doesn't necessarily look like it's been done by a professional designer, but it doesn't need to. It doesn't need to have that look. It's got that nice, punchy, bold, strong look about it, and I think it's pretty well done. This font is also Oswald is a font that I'm a fan of. But yeah, I do think this is sort of like the information. If you're not looking to read. If you're not looking to watch a video and looking to read, it's a bit far down to scroll to get to the reading portion. I would even consider, if I'm not putting this up here, I'd even consider putting the author info at the bottom. And then I'd probably pop a call to action. I'd be like, check out the YouTube channel and subscribe, or download that free ebook and get on the email list. That's definitely, I feel like a call to action on this site at the bottom of the posts would be a very, very good move. Yeah. Look, overall, the website, the most important thing is that the content is awesome. If you don't have the best design website, but you've got excellent content, which Aaron definitely does have, that's the main thing. Awesome content is definitely what makes this work. It's got the design can make things work a little easier, and I think with a few little tweaks, you could definitely really get this website quite easily to something that is really a lot more powerful than it currently is. But yeah. It's still neat. It's still professional. It just needs a few little touch-ups there. And in my opinion, to get it up to the same quality, the other websites he owns look absolutely fantastic. Like, I really wish I'd designed some of these sites myself. T. Hanley is a great site. Also, Pete and Pedro, very bold, very strong. I love the look of that site. Carrying some of that look over to the Alpha M site, that'd definitely be a good way to really bring this site up to that level. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider giving it a like. If you want to see more videos like this, also please consider subscribing. And if you have any websites you'd like me to review on here, pop a comment below, let me know about it, and I'll check it out. Otherwise, don't forget to check out Aaron's YouTube channel, Alpha M. Excellent channel, especially if you're a guy for fitness, styling tips, even just life tips in general. Very, very cool guy, cool channel, awesome content, worth checking out. So thanks for watching. Have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you next time.